Sup my dudes, Valkyrja. Once again, I want to talk to you about Genshin, the Genius Invokation TCG, and do I think if it's going to help Genshin out or etc. What do I think is going to happen with it? Because that is something I'm greatly interested in, obviously, because I talked about it yesterday, and I want to continue that conversation today by basically saying how I think it's going to help out Genshin a lot, at least with the player base. Because right now, at least from what I've seen, I looked around. It seems like all the people who read the article or who saw the interview, we all know the famous interview by now, who saw the interview have basically quit. They realize there's no endgame. No endgame's ever coming, so there's no point in really, being try-hard or doing stuff like that. And I think the TCG is going to be a great reprieve for people like that to try to bring them back. Because I know it worked for me. I know it's not going to work for everybody because card games aren't for everyone. And what I've seen of it, I'm going to try to explain the card game a little bit because I have seen the leaks. I'm going to try to explain it a little bit, but I do want to talk about this first. So from what I've seen of it, it seems actually intricate. It seems like there's definitely going to be metas to follow. It seems like everything we wanted with the actual game, even though the game has in-depth combat, it's kind of transferring it over to basically the kind of TCG. So to explain what I understand with the TCG, now granted it's very minimal because what I've seen is in Chinese and I understood none of it. But you have basically three characters. You have three characters you pick with you. Each one has its own elements. Elements are very, very important in the TCG. And then you kind of have like spell and trap cards, I guess is the best way to play it. Like spells from Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or the same shit. You kind of have it all to the side, off to the side, and you, every turn, you roll for elements that I guess you're using. You have to pick, you roll like 8 dice, and you pick like 3. You can apply elements to the enemy champions and our enemy characters, and you're going to try to kill the 3 enemy characters by applying elements. Elements have different elemental reactions, so your team count's going to be very, very important. So different strategies are going to require basic, like, you're going to have to understand the actual combat of the actual game, so it's going to kind of feed itself into it. Because now the knowledge that a lot of players have gotten of how elemental reactions work seem to transfer over to it. Like a good example, the one I saw is, I can't remember the reaction name, but I know what it does, is the cryo-electro reaction is the one I saw in some gameplay. So the cryo-electro reaction inside the game, a lot of people don't know this. Yes, it reduces physical, but it also releases a shockwave that does a very small amount of damage, but it does release a shockwave whenever it activates, and it increases the amount of physical damage something takes. So the way it's going to transfer over to the card game is it's just going to deal a little bit of AoE to all the characters. So like, for example, one character takes like 3 damage and the other 2 characters take 1 damage each. Stuff like that, knowing how elemental reactions work, are going to transfer over to the TCG very, very well. And for people who want to kind of play the TCG constantly or just want to play it, it's very, very big and important to actually know how to gain real combat works, because a lot of mechanics transfer over, and I assume they're going to try to recreate a lot of the interactions or the elemental reactions inside the TCG. So I know I went on a little bit of a rant because the TCG looks really cool. I'm really excited for it, and I think we will have a live stream soon, which will get more official information, and then I'll have videos that aren't just webcam, and I'll actually be showcasing it to you guys. But yeah, I think Genius Invocation TCG might save Genshin or permanently change Genshin, whatever. I think it's going to be a big deal, and I think a lot of people aren't really ready for how big of a deal it's going to be, but I think it's going to be something really, really cool, and I cannot wait for it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.